product is better than yours, okay? And we basically say, well, what did that product cost, and what did the training cost, and where did they get you? We had a new member at our user group basically talk about going to some training, correct? All right, and he'll tell you his experiences of working with SharePoint, and coming back and saying, I don't get it, okay? But I think it's important that we recognize this particular product and we talk it up, okay, and talk about the different people that are using DotNetNuke, okay, and then we'll talk about installing DotNetNuke, basic install on a local PC, best ways to learn, and we'll talk about learning resources. So that's basically what we'll talk about for the 50 minutes that I have. So how many have installed and started to work with it? Just a show of numbers, okay? Any newbies out there? All right, so we got some newbies out there. How many people have live DNN sites? Okay. Skin developers only, not both ways. Skin developers only. Okay, so we got a couple. Mod developers only. Okay. Both? Both? Okay, so let's just show hands, all right, in regards to the audience and basically what we're working with. So here we have this open source portal application that is currently sponsored by Microsoft. I know that the DotNetNuke team was in Redmond recently at the MVP Summit and had their own table, okay, because they're so big. And it's not just the DotNetNuke Corporation, it's the core team as well. And they really have the ear of Scott Guthrie, who's in charge of the ASP.NET product. This product is ranked in the top 5 active projects in the Workspace directory. 575,000 registered users, continues to grow. It's probably up around 2,000 right now per week. Phenomenal. And if you want to use an example of a website as far as traffic is concerned, use .NET News, okay, in regards to what kind of traffic in which they get. So there's their site, and there's the security release that's available. Interesting history. When I got involved at Microsoft, as a faculty advisor with them, one of the things that they discussed to us was the iBuySpy portal. How many people got started back then with ASP.NET 1.0? All right. Fantastic in regards to being able to see a working demonstration. It was one of their starter kits, okay, and it was a working demonstration of e-commerce, and they just basically used spy stuff that they sold. So if you buy this book with Sean Walker on the cover, along with Scott and Joe Brinkman, there's an interesting history that goes into more detail of how things started with Sean just ripping apart the iBuySpy and making that to be an open source portal. And then the history of 2003, all right, DotNetNuke first version came out, and core team was also formed in getting input from ASP.NET team and Microsoft, and then the different versions. So you can kind of sit there and say, I started here, okay, at version 2, version 1, version 3, or even version 4. 2006, the starter kit was created, basically helping out for a lot of people in regards to getting this thing working and running. 2007, 4.4 versions came out, and then 2008, and where we're going with this, who knows? Okay, you'll find out this afternoon, so you'll have to stay. One of the things that attracted me so much to this was the community. And if you get a chance to talk with Mike throughout the day, he is all for this community and being able to share resources, either with a user group or one-on-one or something at a code camp or something like this in regards to, hey, here's what I'm doing, how can I get to where I'm at? For developers to be able to contribute to the growth of this project, I've met some of these people, we'll talk about some of these people later, and it's good that you get to know who these people are. Very active forum, which was once on Microsoft's site, buried under the ASP.NET stuff. Does anybody remember that when it was there? Okay. Has since been brought over to the .NET Nuke site. Many contributors are probably in this room. I know that our own DotNetNuke user group, Will Stroll, who's talking after me, is known as his mightiness. He'll tell you why. He contributes an awful lot, okay, on the forums. If you have a question, there's different areas that you can go to, all right, to either chat about what you're doing, announce it, or get some help, all right, in skinning. Capabilities as far as supporting multiple websites. Tracy Whitkeller spoke at our Orlando DotNetNuke camp, and how many? He's got one install with how many? 800 portals running off of one install. All right? Anybody get higher than that? All right, we're just curious. All right, we thought that was kind of high. The extensible module framework written in VB.NET, custom portal skinning, be able to use PayPal, the new e-commerce that just came out, the store. Robust suite of admin modules, bulk emails, site logging, vendor management, banner advertising. It just goes on and on and on as far as capabilities. I'm not sure if you can read this, but I found this that was really, really good in regards to helping you sell this if you needed to a potential client, where it reviews all of the features of DotNetNuke. It talks about the extensibility, and it also talks about the stakeholders within an organization. You never see that. Nick Caliani, I think, put this together. And it talks about the end users, it talks about the site administrators, the designers, the IT department, the web developers, management, and hosting providers. So I'm not going to go through all of this with you, but I wanted to tell you that all of the slides will be available on the, we'll put on the DotNetNuke user group site, all right, for people to be able to download, so you'll be able to have this. But it's worth taking a look at. So as far as who has DotNetNuke sites, it's a very impressive list that we need to spread the word on. And if you take a look at some of the companies there, I'm sure you can recognize some of their logos. And here's my site. This is another site that I created to celebrate computer science education. I give out free Java videos. Here's our user group site that Will Stroll created the skin on, and Mike got our host up and running. There's Mike's company's site. There's our DNNinspired.com. There's Will Stroll's ResHub.com. And it's real interesting when you go to user groups to talk to people about, how did you do that? How did you do this? And you really need to show each other, what it is that you're doing, for people to be able to see. Now, for an easy install to be able to start working with this, for the people that are new, definitely go get Visual Web Developer, which is free, SQL Server Express, and register on the DotNetNuke site, and you'll be able to download the starter kit. Visual Web Developer has its own web server. It's called Cassini Web Server. It's from the old Web Matrix days of ASP.NET, where you don't need to install IIS on your PC and have to deal with file permissions and things of this nature. It's very, very easy to be able to create a DotNetNuke site and work with it. So you can Google Visual Web Developer. There's a 2008 edition. I'm using 2005. It's very lightweight, uses ASP.NET 2.0.